morning, everyone.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the regional consultation on the UN Decade of Family Farming, formulating strategies and action plan to strengthen smallholder family farmers in South Asia. So we will be starting in just a few minutes. If you are having difficulty hearing me, let us know through the chat box. And also, may we ask each one to please remain muted and also to rename yourself using the name of the country where you are in, and then your name and the name of your agency or organization. This will help us in assigning each one to the breakout rooms for the last session that we are having today. Please check below the screen of the Zoom platform. Click on the participants icon, and then this will move you to the right section of the Zoom. Just bring the cursor over your name, click on more, and then click on rename. Again, I'm asking everyone, please rename yourself to your country first, your name, and the sector, sorry, not the organization, but the sector that you belong to, either government, NGO, farmers organization, cooperative, or INGO. This will help us in assigning each one to the breakout rooms in the last session that we will be having today. Again, may we request everyone to please rename themselves with a country, your name, and the sector. And just before we start, we would like to have a survey. So we will post survey questions. Okay, give us just a few seconds. We are having some technical difficulty, but we will be posting few questions, and we are inviting everyone to participate in the poll. Okay, so we have launched the poll. Please answer the questions that you see on your screen. So we wanted to know how diverse our participants are. So we wanted to know where you are joining us from. And also we wanted to know the age group that you belong to. I'm inviting everyone to please participate in the poll, and also the sector that you are currently working with. So I can see that 20% have answered. So for the first question, I can see that many of our participants are in Bangladesh. And then I can see 23% are from Nepal, and 14% from Bhutan and Sri Lanka. So again, please participate, the rest of the participants. We are 51 at the moment. Kindly participate in answering the questions. So we will give you a few more seconds before we end the polling. So for those who just joined in, may I request each one to rename themselves to the country first, where you are in, and then your name, and then the sector that you are working with. So you can do that by moving your cursor to where your name is and then click on the more icon and then rename. So we will end the poll now and we'll share the results so everyone can see. So most of our participants at the moment are from Bangladesh, and that most of our participants belong to the age group 51 above, and most are male and from the government. So thank you everyone for participating in the poll. So it's now 3 minutes past 10:30 Bangladesh time. So again, good morning and good afternoon, everyone. So thank you for joining us in this 2 days consultation on the regional consultation on the UN Decade of Family Farming, formulating strategies and action plan to strengthen smallholder family farmers in South Asia. So the UNDFF is more timely than ever, as we know, since the world is going through massive transformation. And we also know that family farmers in South Asia produce at least 70% of the food in the region, with women putting in as much as 80% in farm work. And it is our hope that the series of UNDFF consultation meetings and planning will lead to positive changes and national level action during this decade. So before we formally start, I would like to orient everyone about the mechanics. So please check below the screen of the Zoom platform. You should see the following icons as you can see on the screen. Please remain muted unless recognized by the moderator. And feel free to turn on or off your video depending on the internet speed that you have. At the moment, we are still enabling the chat icon, but this is the button where, this is the section where you can actually interact with the fellow participants, and this is where you can let us know about your organization or agency, and then perhaps you can also share about your experience on supporting family farmers in your country. So give us a few more minutes to fix the issue with the chat. And then during the open forum, there is also the raise hand button, and you can find that in the participants section on your right. So you can use this if you wanted to ask questions to the speakers, or if you wanted to react during the open forum. So the moderator will recognize you and you will be unmuted by our IT specialists in this platform. So now I would like to call on our moderator for this morning. Dr. Rudra, over to you.
Share and everybody share it and disable करा था पढ़ दो ना. Good morning everybody. Iris, can you allow me to share the screen?
Yes, Dr. Rudra, go ahead.
Thank you, Iris. Good morning, everybody. Dr. Abdul Rauf, General Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, Government of Bangladesh. Mr. Nigel Brett, Director, Asia Pacific Region, IFAD. Mr. Sridhar Dharmapuri, FAO RAP, Thailand. Mr. Subinda Pereira, Honorable Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, Government of Sri Lanka. Dr. S.M. Boktiar, Executive Chairman, Bangladesh Agriculture Research Council, BARC. Dr. Mian Said Hassan, the Director, SARC Agriculture Center, Bangladesh. Ms. Esther Penunia, AFA Secretary General. Mr. Subramanian, our Asia Pacific Director. Government focal point experts from SARC member countries, community leaders, experts, professionals, farmers organization leaders, distinguished dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, on behalf of organizer, would like to heartily welcome you all in this 2 days important August gathering. Today, we are in this important South Asia regional UNDFF consultation program on UN Decade of Family Farming, formulating strategy and action plan to strengthen family farmers in South Asia. Today, I'm going to moderate this inaugural session. I'm Rudra Shrestha from SARC Agriculture Center. First of all, I want to define or mention about the objectives of the program. I would like to acknowledge, first of all, to our organizers, co-organizers, SARC Agriculture Center, SAC Dhaka, Asia Farmers Association for Sustainable Rural Development, AFA, Philippines, International Cooperative Alliance, Asia Pacific, India, and I would also like to thank FAO, Regional Office for Asia and Pacific, Thailand, for the technical support. The main objectives of this program is to formulate a regional action plan of the UNDFF at the South Asia region, strengthen family farmers, and improve their well-being in the next 20 years in South Asia. The inaugural session, Dr. Miat Said Hassan, Director of SARC Agriculture Center, Bangladesh, will give welcome remarks. We have keynote speakers, Chief Guest Dr. Abdul Rauf, Additional Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, Government of Bangladesh. Excellency Mr. Nigel Brett, Director of Asia and the Pacific Region, IFAD. Mr. Sridhar Dharmapuri, Group Leader, Agriculture Food System, FAO, Regional Base for the Asia Pacific in Bangkok. Ms. Estrella Penunia, Secretary General, Asia Farmers Association for South Asia Sustainable Rural Development, AFA. Mr. Bala Subramanian, Regional Director in International Cooperative Alliance. And Dr. S.M. Boktiar, Executive Chairman, Bangladesh Agriculture Research Council. Let me introduce Mr. Miat Said Hassan. Dr. Hassan is the Director of SARC Agriculture Center, Dhaka, and also Chief Scientific Officer of Division, Bangladesh Agriculture Research Council. He obtained his doctorate degree under the Department of Botany from Jahangir University, Bangladesh in 2007. Doctorate research in rice physiology at National Institute of Crop Science, South Korea. In his career, he contributed immensely for agricultural research and development, as well as project planning, development, implementation at the national and international level. Dr. Hassan published more than 23 research papers in journals and addition to authorized abstracts, proceeding paper, and bulletins. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Hassan for his welcome remarks. Excellency, floor is yours. Dr. Hassan? You are in mute?
No, I am not
Okay.
unmute. You can hear me?
Okay, yeah, now. Right.
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Excellencies, Chief Guest, Dr. M. Mohammad Abdul Rauf, Additional Secretary, Policy Planning and Coordination Wing, Ministry of Agriculture, Government of Bangladesh. Mr. Nigel Brett, Director, Asia Pacific Region, Representative of the President, IFAD, Rome, Italy. Mr. Sridhar Dharmapuri, APO RAP, Thailand. Ms. Esther Penonia, AFA, Secretary General, Philippines. Mr. Bala Subramaniam IR, ICA Asia Pacific Director. Government focal point experts from SAARC member countries, thematic leaders, experts, professionals, farmers organization leaders, members from print and electronic media, distinguished dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. This is my pleasure to heartily welcome you in this regional consultation meeting on UN Decade of Family Farming, formulating strategies and action plan to strengthen smallholder family farmers in South Asia. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, this program is organized virtually with the co-organizing partner, SAARC Agriculture Center, Asian Farmer Association for Sustainable Rural Development, that is AFA, International Cooperative Alliance, ICA Asia Pacific, and technical support from APO Regional Office for Asia and Pacific, Thailand. On behalf of the SAARC Agriculture Center, I cordially welcome you all in this 2 days virtual consultation meeting. The main objectives of this program is to formulate a regional action plan that defines the key priorities, strategies, and action to implement the UN Decade of Family Farming to strengthen family farmers in South Asia and improve their well-being in the next 10 years. Indeed, 90% of the 608 million farmers in the world are family farmers and produce more than 80% of the world food. However, smallholder farmers are smallholders having less than 2 hectares of land, handicraft by using traditional technology, lack of access to input, including improved seed, fertilizers, and credits, and weak market for product that led the agriculture system less productive and less profitable. UN Decade of Family Farming is the opportunity to recognize the important role of smallholders, family farmers in agriculture and food system that guide the policies to strengthen the family farmers, leading to ensure their improved livelihood, well-being, and prosperity. In this occasion, I want to highlight some important achievements accomplished by the SAARC Agriculture Center during the past. Number one, published more than 174 publications on different aspects on emerging challenges on South Asia agriculture, including crops, horticulture, livestock, fisheries, natural resource management, and cross-cutting issues, emphasizing on developmental aspects, policies, and technologies. Number two, capacity development through regional training, seminar, workshop, meeting, and SAARC Agriculture PhD scholarship program in the SAARC countries. Number three, transfer of technologies in the SAARC countries. I hope this program will be the milestone in paving the pathway of formulating South Asia regional action plan of the UN Decade of Family Farming that promote smallholder family farmers and improve their well-being in the region. Paper presentation from the national focal point experts represent country-level reality-based strategies, presentation from farmers' organization address the farmers' need, and presentation from thematic leaders provide high-level technical expertise, and brainstorming could significantly contribute to formulate the regional action plan of the UN Decade of Family Farming. I am happy to share the news that a multi-country project on consortium for scaling up climate smart agriculture in South Asia, that is we call C-Success, supported by IFAD and SARC Development Fund, has been approved and ready to launch very soon by the SARC Agriculture Center. I wish effective participation in this matter to achieve the objectives of this program. Finally, I would like to express my sincere thanks to organizers of the SARC Agriculture Center, Asian Farmers Association, ICA, and technical support from APO-RAP for organizing this important event. Once again, I welcome to all and wish for successful event. Stay safe amidst COVID-19. Thank you. Long live the spirit of SARC. Thank you.
Right now there are 70 people are joining today in this inaugural session. He highlighted the importance of family farming and also highlighted the major activities that done by SARC Agriculture Center. Then then we have our main inaugural section, that is the keynote speech. We have invited that I have already mentioned some keynote speakers. First of all, the first keynote speaker is Mr. Nigel Brett. His keynote. Mr. Brett is the director of South Asia and the Pacific, the Program Management Department of the International Fund for Agricultural Development. He is responsible for IFAD's regional program of USD 7 billion in investments in 25 active country programs and leading a team of 50 staffs. Mr. Brett is a national of United Kingdom. He holds an MPhil in Environment and Development from Cambridge University and a BSc in Environmental Science from the University of East Anglia. Mr. Nigel has provided his recorded keynote speech. Ms. Iris, may I request you to proceed the speech of Mr. Nigel?
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues and partners, good morning, good afternoon to all from Rome. On behalf of IFAD, let me first sincerely thank the SARC Agricultural Center, the Asian Farmers Association for Sustainable Rural Development, AFA, the International Cooperative Alliance for Asia Pacific, for co-organizing and for inviting IFAD to this important regional forum. As you know, in December 2017, at the 72nd session of the UN General Assembly, it was proclaimed that 2019 to 2028 was the UN Decade of Family Farming. The UNDFF aims to serve as a framework for countries to develop public policies and investments to support family farming and contribute to the achievement of the SDGs. During the decade's launch in May 2019 in FAO headquarters in Rome, a global action plan to promote the UNDFF was defined. To oversee the implementation of the UNDFF, an international steering committee was established, composed of representatives of member states and family farmer organizations, including AFA. The Secretariat of the International Steering Committee is supported by FAO and IFAD. I'm very happy to see that the multi-stakeholder process involving government focal persons of UNDFF, the national and regional centers of agriculture, family farmers organizations and agricultural cooperatives are now co-organizing this event, aimed to define strategies, processes, and content of a regional action plan for the implementation of the UNDFF in South Asia. The region of South Asia matters to the world. It has 1.7 billion people, or 24% of the global population, with the largest youth labor force in the world. While it is the second fastest growing region in the world, it is home to 200 million people living below the international poverty line. And poverty in South Asia has a rural face. While still 70% of the rural population rely on agriculture, farmers in this region are in the large majority family farmers. They are challenged by low productivity, inadequate access to agricultural inputs, weak involvement in processes and governance of value chains, as well as climate change. And yet family farming holds a strong potential to achieve the goals of ending hunger and poverty. As you know, family farming models are currently the predominant form of food and agricultural production in both developed and developing countries, producing over 80% of the world's food in value terms. Family farming models do not just produce food, but are also fulfilling environmental, social, and cultural functions. Family farms are custodians of biodiversity and better preserve the landscape as well as the community and cultural heritage. Family farmers are small, but they are organized for collective action in their own cooperatives, associations, and federations. If we are able to transform agriculture in such a way that will empower the millions of family farmers in South Asia, our goals of eradicating hunger and poverty will be achieved. Last year, in their joint forward to the UNDFF Global Action Plan, the President of IFAD and the FAO Director General stated, and I quote, "To feed the world and do it sustainably, an urgent and radical shift in our food systems is necessary. To be effective, transformative actions must address a complex set of interconnected objectives, encompassing economic, social, and environmental dimensions. Family farmers, including pastoralists, fishers, foresters, indigenous people, and other groups of food producers, are at the heart of this issue. The Global Action Plan of the UNDFF with its 7 pillars must now be contextualized and operationalized on the ground at national level. Nepal and Indonesia already have their own plans, and other Asian countries are in the process of formulation. A regional action plan for South Asia will certainly help accelerating this process. A common framework and platform at regional level will also help exchanges of best practices and mutual learning among governments, farmers, cooperatives, and research institutions in the region. On the IFAD side, in the Asia-Pacific division, we are committed to fully mobilize our country offices and programs to actively participate in the design of national action plans for this decade. For these national action plans need to be owned by the countries, with the participation and support of all stakeholders involved in rural development, especially family farming organizations and civil society. Country-level multi-stakeholder processes are fundamental to ensure the joint design of national action plans. They will help in an easier joint implementation and joint accountability. In this regard, we strongly encourage the establishment of national committees of family farming. My esteemed colleagues and partners, I really appeal to you to strengthen the collaboration in each country and to mobilize all the possible resources to support governments in this task. It is in the interest of the rural poor, it's in the interests of farmer organizations, it's in the interests of respective governments, but also development partners. Let us work together to achieve the SDGs. Everywhere, the COVID-19 pandemic and its dramatic impact on our lives and economies has been calling our attention to short-term emergency management. But as we build back better, let's keep in mind our longer-term goals for this decade: no poverty and zero hunger by 2030. Let us join our effort to succeed, for us and for the generations to come. You can count on IFAD, and I deeply wish that this forum identifies strategic solutions and strong mechanisms to deliver jointly the UNDFF action plans in a very near future. Thank you very much for your attention.
Dr. Rudra, you are muted, Dr. Rudra. Dr. Rudra, please unmute Dr. Rudra. Dr. Rudra, please unmute first.
Thank you, Excellency Brett, for your inspiring and encouragement for the UNDFF regional action plan. We are glad that you have primarily discussed about the overall framework of UNDFF. Okay. Then after our second keynote speaker is Mr. Sridhar Dharmapuri. Let me introduce Mr. Sridhar. He is a group leader of the Agriculture and Food Systems team at the FAO Regional Office for Asia Pacific in Thailand, Bangkok. He is the Senior Food Safety and Nutrition Officer for the region and leading FAO's work on strengthening core elements of national food safety system, as well as sustainable and resilient urban and rural food systems for safe and healthy diets. He is coordinating the development of FAO's regional COVID-19 response and recovery program aimed at assisting countries in Asia and Pacific to build back better from the impact of the pandemic and regain the path of progress, the sustainable goals. He has a PhD in life science from Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi, India, and a master's in business administration from the University of Kansas, USA. I would like to invite Mr. Sridhar to deliver your keynote speech. Excellency, floor is yours.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished dignitaries. I recognize many old friends from the screen. Prior to occupying my current position in Bangkok, I was posted for 5 years in Dhaka in Bangladesh. And I had the opportunity to get to know many of you quite closely and work with many of you as well. And I look forward to renewing these links through this particular consultation. So first of all, partners, colleagues, and members of the different national committees, dignitaries, a very good morning to you all. It is my pleasure to join in this virtual regional consultation meeting on the UN Decade of Family Farming, formulating strategies and the action plan to strengthen smallholder family farmers in South Asia. On behalf of the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, and in particular the Regional Office for Asia and the Pacific, I would like to thank the SARC Agricultural Center, the Asian Farmers Association for Sustainable Rural Development, and the International Cooperative Alliance Asia Pacific for organizing this regional consultation and inviting FAO's participation, as well as in many ways our partnership in developing this particular consultation and its discussions. Alongside with our colleagues of our sister agency in Rome, IFAD, we are very happy to support and contribute to this particular event. Of course, the headline that is on top of all our minds is the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. But even before the pandemic actually took its current serious form, the latest edition of the State of Food Security and Nutrition in the World, which was published by FAO in collaboration with the other Rome-based agencies in July, estimated that nearly 690 people 90 million people in the world were malnourished. This was up by 10 million from 2018 and nearly up by 16 million in 5 years. Therefore, with the pandemic itself, where it is already forecast that over 130 million more people would be pushed into chronic hunger, we are looking at a situation which needs to be addressed not just by governments and agencies alone, but in partnership with civil society organizations and particularly with family farmers. So, and family farmers, as it is well recognized, are the engineers of economic, environmental, social, and cultural sustainability of agriculture, while at the same time, they're also one of the most affected populations due to their vulnerability to shocks and crisis, and COVID-19 especially is a prime example. Therefore, it's vital more than ever that we come together and continue to improve policies and investments to utilize their full potential. Now, FAO, through its work globally as well as in the Asia Pacific, recognizes the essential role played by smallholders and family farmers in providing supplies of diverse and nutritious food to the region. So traditional food systems, indigenous food systems are very much a part of our work and very much areas where we support, particularly to transform our existing food systems to reduce vulnerability to shocks such as COVID-19, to make them more resilient, and at the same time have the opportunity to provide sustainable and healthy diets to all the citizens of this region so that we can improve the nutritional indicators right across Asia and the Pacific. And this opportunity is afforded through the decade of the UN decade of family farming, because it enables us to find our footing and regain the momentum that we lost even before COVID-19 hit on the road to 2030 to the Sustainable Development Goals. Therefore, the road to recovery to sustainable goals is actually lies through recovery through COVID, and gives us an opportunity to create and sustain an inclusive, collaborative, and coherent way forward. We recently meaning about 2 months ago, we had the Asia Pacific Regional Conference, which is the conference of all our member nations from the Asia Pacific region. There are 46 of them, of which 15 are in the Pacific Islands. And they recommended greater inclusion of family farmers in all aspects of agriculture development. They recommended to FAO to provide greater technical and policy assistance to help increase labor and land productivity for a wide range of food products, including staples, legumes, pulses, oilseeds, fruits and vegetables, across all the major sectors, including aquaculture, fisheries, livestock, apart from crops, of course, and diversify agriculture to make it more nutrition sensitive. It recommended for us to continue support to governments in providing support to family farmers in the context of the UN decade, but also link it to the UN decade of ecosystem restoration, which will help to increase and strengthen the reliance and help harness the full potential of the 2030 agenda. Promote social inclusion for sustainable and resilient food systems that is necessary for gainful employment and livelihood opportunities, especially in agri-food chains for family farmers. These again have been severely impacted by the pandemic. And mobilize the extensive and rich capabilities and expertise in the region, and that is present in this audience. Most of us represent that expertise to achieve solutions to the various challenges that we can maximize through some of FAO's flagship programs, such as the Hand in Hand Initiative and South-South and Triangular Cooperation. And then importantly, to promote innovations and better farming techniques to improve productivity for all, whether especially for family farmers, but also for farming in general. Today, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, family farmers face higher levels of vulnerability, often putting their lives at risk to survive and to feed our growing populations. And farmers in this region have developed strategies to adapt to changes and to respond to threats and crises. I mean, this is resilience is a hallmark of family farmers in the region. And several countries have worked to leverage on this potential to support family farmers' resilience and enhance their entrepreneurial and innovation capacity. Now, in this context, FAO now has rolled out the COVID-19 Response and Recovery Program. There are 7 priorities. After I finish my talk, I will paste a link to these priorities on the chat so you can all have a look, and where the emphasis is on increasing resilience and to increase productive in production and to do it in a sustainable way, and then move towards the SDGs. Uh, from IFAD, Nigel already spoke about the global action plan, so I don't need to go into much detail, except to say that it does provide guidance to unleash the potential of family farmers through series of indicative and interconnected actions at the local level, which along 7 mutually reinforcing pillars of work. And this remains an important, though not the only exclusive framework for dealing with the current pandemic, since it provides key actions which can keep guiding organizations like ours to work with countries and many of the organizations that are represented on this forum today. So to conclude, I would just like to say that our region is extremely dynamic. It has been the engine of economic growth of the world for the last couple of decades, and there's no reason why it should not continue to do so. Already countries in the region are have been most effective in controlling the impacts of the pandemic, in actually controlling the spread of the disease itself within their countries. And they're also, the countries in the region are also now at the forefront of the economic recovery. And they will have to lead the rest of the world in this aspect. We've already noted that the UNDFF is calling for countries to develop their national plans of family farming and has set an ambitious target of 100 plans in the next 5 years. Let's make that happen, and we are there to support all the countries in that aspect. We have already seen these plans being approved in Indonesia and Nepal, while Philippines is drafting its plan and other countries are moving to start the process. This is very encouraging. And we stand ready to work closely with governments and all other stakeholders, producer organizations, civil society, academia, and the private sector in supporting the dialogue process. In closing, let me just say that yes, COVID has been a setback, that's clear, but family farmers have shown their resilience and the momentum, and we need to support them in increasing their resilience and to move forward towards the SDGs. And I'm confident that all of us can make that happen. In the end, I wish you and all of us every success in this consultation on the way forward. Thank you very much. And thank you once again to all the organizers for inviting FAO to this important meeting. Thank you very much. Over.
Okay. Thank you, Excellency, for your nice presentations. Third speaker is Miss Estrella Punia. Miss Estrella is Secretary General of the Asia Pharmacy Association for Sustainable Rural Development, AFA, a regional alliance of national farmers organization in Asia. It is established in 2002. AFA is currently composed of 22 national farmers organizations in 16 countries, representing around 13 million small-scale men and women farmers. AFA promotes farmers' right to lands, water, forest, and seeds, sustainable and resilient agroecological approaches in farms, fisheries, and forest, strengthening farmers' cooperatives and their enterprises, women empowerment, and attract the youth to agriculture through an integrated program on policy advocacy, capacity building, and knowledge management. Now, I would like to invite Ms. Estrella to deliver her keynote speech. Excellency, for is yours.
Distinguished guests, His Excellency Additional Secretary Dr. Abdul Rauf of the Ministry of Agriculture, Government of Bangladesh, Mr. Nigel Brett of IFAD, Mr. Siddhar Dharmapuri of FAO Regional Office in Asia Pacific, esteemed colleagues from the co-organizers headed by Dr. Mian Sayed of the SAARC Agriculture Center and Mr. year of International Cooperative Alliance Asia Pacific with technical support from FAO RAP anchored by Pierre Ferrand. Ladies and gentlemen participating in this virtual meeting, good morning, good afternoon to you all from the Philippines, where our headquarters are located. As Dr. Rudra has said, our organization, Asian Farmers Association for Sustainable Rural Development, or AFA, is an organization of national family farmers organizations, currently with 22 member organizations in 16 countries in Asia, 3 of which are operating here in South Asia region. AFA also manages several regional projects, such as the Asia Pacific Farmers Program supported by IFAD, the Family Farming Initiative supported by the International Land Coalition housed in IFAD, and the Global Agriculture Food Security Program, among others, which facilitates the interaction of AFA with national family farmers organizations and non-government organizations in all 8 countries of South Asia. We have invited some of our colleagues here, and I hope you can raise your hand in the chat box if you are a member of AFA or you are an implementing partner FO or implementing partner NGO of the Asia Pacific Farmers Program, ILC or GAFSP, as we would like our presence to be recognized here in this meeting. So for representatives of family farmer organizations who are here, please click the raise hand button in the chat box of your Zoom screens. We come here with a big hope. The South Asia landscape is still predominantly rural, with still a majority of its population relying on agriculture, fishery, forestry, herding, and pastoralism for a living. Yet, one of the largest concentration of the poorest and hungriest in the world is in the South Asia region. Our big hope comes with 2 global policy instruments that have almost the same time frame. One is the Agenda 2030 to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals 2016 to 2030. And the other is the United Nations Decade of Family Farming 2019 to 2028, or the UNDFF. During the launch of the Global Action Plan of UNDFF last year, experts from FAO and IFAD have emphasized that the effective implementation of the UNDFF Global Action Plan can contribute significantly to as many as 12 out of the 17 SDGs, including what we think are most significant SDGs. SDG 1, no poverty. SDG 2, end hunger, promote food security and sustainable agriculture. SDG 3, good health and well-being. SDG 5, gender equality. And SDG 10, reduced inequalities. That hope is coming from the aim of this meeting, that aligned with the Global Action Plan of the UNDFF, we will be able to formulate a regional action plan to implement the UNDFF in South Asia. And this regional action plan will define our key priority policies and actions in the region and outline steps for national country processes for UNDFF. We also come here in the spirit of partnership. SDG 17 calls for partnership for the goals, and the SDG itself aims that no one will be left behind. And the UNDFF Global Action Plan calls for inclusive multi-stakeholder mechanisms and processes to plan, implement, monitor the UNDFF's process. We are thankful to SAARC Secretariat and the SAARC Agriculture Center for inviting family farmers organizations and cooperatives in this meeting, not only as participants, but as co-organizer and equal partner in the design and conduct of this meeting. And lastly, we come here with excitement, because while we will all talk about the challenges and constraints that family farmers in South Asia face, we in a multi-stakeholder process with government, family farming organizations, cooperatives, private sector, intergovernment organizations, and research institutions, We are excited with the hope that the partnership here through national and regional committees of family farming that can be established eventually will be able to identify solutions in terms of policy and program priorities, both at regional and national levels, that will encourage and inspire and push us to carry on the work so that by 2030, we will see empowered family farmers in South Asia with improved living conditions and well-being, and food systems are sustainable and inclusive. This meeting is one big step, a milestone. Once again, thank you for your presence here in this meeting. We look forward to lively and animated and fruitful discussions with all of you. Let's all have a good day and a good 2 days. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Estrella, for your nice keynote speech. And I would appreciate your effort made to organize this program. And you are, as one of the core partner, core organizer of this program. That's why I would like to congratulate you for your nice and strong support for this program. Because of the chief guest tight schedule, I'm just I want to invite Dr. Abdul Rauf. Let me introduce about Dr. Rauf. Dr. Rauf is Additional Secretary, Policy Planning and Cooperation in the Ministry of Agriculture, Government of Bangladesh. He started his professional career since 1987. He's more responsible for formulating agriculture policies, SDGs, WTO, and coordination with the donors and development partner organizations. He also has a long experience in Bangladesh Land Port Authority, Ministry of Shipping, Ministry of Public Administration, World Bank Finance Project, and the Ministry of Finance. He did his PhD in environmental science from GU and MSc in soil science from BAU. I would like to invite Dr. Rauf to deliver his keynote speech. Excellency, floor is yours. Dr. Rauf, yeah.
Please, can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Yes, sir. We can hear you clearly.
Okay. Excellencies, Mr. Nigel Bart, Director, Asia Pacific Region, representative of President IFAD, Rome, Italy, Mr. Sridhar Drampuri, FORF, Thailand, Mr. Mia Said Hassan, Director, SARC Agriculture Center, Bangladesh, Mr. Esther Penu, AFA, Secretary General, Philippines, Mr. Balasuda Brahman, Yar, ICA, Asia Pacific Director, Government Focal Point, expert from SARC member countries, thematic leader, experts, professionals, farmers organization leaders, print and electronics media, distinguished dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning. It is my great pleasure to attend the regional consultation meeting on UN Decade of Farming, Family Farming, formulating strategies and action plan to strengthen smallholder family farmer in South Asia. First of all, let me extend my sincere gratitude and appreciation to the co-organization of SARC Agriculture Center, IFA, ICA, and FORF for inviting me as the chief guest of this important meeting. Since the establishment of SARC in 1985 and the SARC Agriculture Center in 1988, I would appreciate the outstanding performance of SARC activities, particularly in technology transfer, addressing issues and challenges of the smallholder family members, and policy dialogue and guidance in South Asia region through consultation program, meeting, workshop, training, and SARC Agriculture PhD scholarship program. In fact, the agriculture in South Asia is small holding of less than 2 hectares of land and integrated system consisting of crop, horticulture, fisheries, livestock, and pastoralism operated by family labor. We call it family farming. More than 90% of farmers, particularly in South Asia, are family farmers, and they produce more than 80% of the world food. In the country, these family farmers are encountered by that of import, adopting traditional technologies, weak marketing linkage, and less competitive in the region. Larger number of economically active population are migrated to the urban areas, and trend of out migration have been increasing. An issue has been raised how to revitalize in agriculture. You know, in SDG 2.3, we have a target to double the productivity. But in 2.4.1, sustainable agriculture, and also we have challenge of climate change, and then we have challenge of recently COVID-19. So we have to have overcome these challenges by family farming and other activities. In this context, I believe this program will be milestone for family farmers of South Asian region to guide them in strengthening their improved livelihood and prosperity. As the program is inclusive and multi-stakeholder gathering from wider discipline, knowledge and ideas of the UN professionals and experts, the outcome would be more realistic, rational, and applicable to guide the national level action plan of the UN Decade of Family Farming. I hope this event will formulate regional action plan of UN Decade of Family Farming considering following issues. Formulation of regional action plan coherent with global action plan considering the several pillars. Research and development in agriculture and food systems. Easy access to improve seed, fertilizer, and agriculture credit with minimum interest rate of the family farmers. Sustainability and resilient agriculture should address the effect of climate change. Access to market, inclusive and efficient value chain development. Rural revitalization through promoting agriculture enterprise development. Enhance the economy of scale of smallholders in production and marketing. Engage and capacity building of concerned government people, private sector, and encourage stakeholders towards promoting family farmers. I hope this forum will develop action plan aligning with SDG targets and ensure the major challenges with the aim to reduce the poverty and improve the food and nutrition security in South Asia. In conclusion, I would like to extend my sincere thanks once again to SSSEC, AFA, ICA, and FAO REP for opportunity and best wishes for the success of this regional consultation program, which would be helpful to develop policy and impact pathway in sector of agriculture, livelihoods, and food security in this region. Thank you very much for your patient hearing. Over to Rudra.
Sir. Thank you, Dr. Rauf, for your inspiring and encouraging message. And also, I would like to thank you for your time in your tight schedule. You could manage. So then, the next speaker we have is Mr. Subramaniam Iyer. He is Regional Director, International Cooperative Alliance, Asia Pacific. He has over 30 years of experience managing international development operations and overseeing multiple country offices. Mr. Iyer worked in India in cooperative development before moving abroad to work on Asia regional concerns for overseas agencies, and in particular in Afghanistan, Bangladesh, India, Korea, Mongolia, Nepal, Pakistan, the Philippines, and Sri Lanka. He has worked with the Aga Khan Rural Support Program, ActionAid India, International Development Exchange, and the Asia Foundation. I would like to invite him to deliver his keynote speech. Excellency, floor is yours. You are mute. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Rudra. Distinguished fellow speakers, dignitaries, government focal points, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for inviting me and the International Cooperative Alliance, Asia Pacific, to be part of this important consultation. Let me begin by congratulating the organizers, the SAARC Agriculture Center, the Asian Farmers Association, the FAO Regional Office, and of course my organization for their patience, persistence, and perseverance. I think it was in January that the discussion started in right earnest. And as things were picking up speed, the pandemic hit. So the organizers had to readjust, reformulate, and reorganize in order to reconvene. So here we are. I'd like to thank the organizers for their continued work. The ICA is the voice for cooperatives worldwide, representing 316 national cooperative federations, individual cooperatives, and government departments concerned with cooperatives across 112 countries. The ICA works with global and regional governments and organizations to create the legislative environments that allow cooperatives to form and grow. And in this regard, this consultation is very important to us. In the Asia Pacific region, we have 109 members from 32 countries who come from diverse sectors of the economy: agriculture, consumer, credit, fisheries, forestry, insurance, and workers. So in short, we touch upon all aspects that impact farmers. Agricultural cooperatives are an integral part of a community's social structure. According to the FAO, agricultural cooperatives play an important role in supporting small agricultural producers and marginalized groups such as young people and women. They empower their members economically and socially and create sustainable rural employment through business models that are resilient to economic and environmental shocks. While millions were confined to their homes during the lockdown and other restrictions, farmers and the farming community were busy ensuring there was no disruption in the production of food. Despite agriculture being the mainstay in terms of livelihoods, agriculture today stands at crossroads. The consequence of population growth, which includes aging and not many young people coming forward, climate change, environmental degradation, soil depletion, increasing demand of food, rampant urbanization are leaving resource-poor small-scale family farmers in dire straits. Add to this, governments in the region and most recently in India are opening up agriculture. For example, in India, the 3 farm bills passed aim to free farmers from the shackles of middlemen, provide freedom to trade, and increase the ability to bargain. India has hundreds of millions of farmers, mostly marginal or small family, and this is the same across South Asia, with fragmented landholdings, low productivity, and limited in their bargaining power. In order for them to benefit from the opening of agriculture, they need institutions which collectivize their numbers, increase their scale, and improving their bargaining capacity. The ICAP is strongly committed to the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals and the United Nations Decade of Family Farming. We are aligned with the UNDFF Global Action Plan, which identifies 7 pillars towards improving the family farming and achieving the targets of SDGs by 2030. Let me just touch upon 2 pillars, Pillar 1 and Pillar 5, and the ICAP is coordinating a session on Pillar 2. Pillar 1 talks about developing an enabling policy environment to strengthen family farming. Cooperative agricultural production has kept up with global growth, but its share of retail and wholesale is declining. The same is the case with farmer organizations. This calls for the need to add value and develop linkages with the market. We believe government should create supportive conditions for developing an expansion of cooperative and family-owned enterprises. However, in opening up agriculture, there is belief that the private sector will step in and take care of farmers' marketing needs. We feel there is need to better define what is meant by private sector, as it does not mean just investor-owned business or large multinational companies, or just because they are registered as companies. Private sector activity takes many forms and impact on economic development in various ways. An integrated approach to development, economic, social, and environmental, should be concretely translated into a policy that recognizes and promotes the best suited types of business as different actors. And in this, it's farmer organizations and cooperatives require different conditions and incentives to contribute. Pillar 5 looks at improving socio-economic inclusion, resilience, and well-being of family farmers and rural households. As has been mentioned by the previous speakers, the Asia-Pacific region has the largest number of vulnerable population and is the most disaster-prone region in the world. Cooperatives and farmer organizations in agriculture, fisheries, forestry have a large membership base in the region who feel the effects of climate change in a direct way. Be it in health, economic, or any type of shock, the people most affected are the poorest and the most vulnerable. And when health disaster hits, global inequality is sustained and reinforced and paid for with the lives of the poor and marginalized. Farmers also face post-harvest losses to the tunes of millions of dollars. Addressing this calls for demand-driven cold chains, warehousing, monitoring solutions, and market linkages that can significantly boost farmers' income. The demand supply is extremely fragmented because of the small landholding and varies. Hence, aggregation is an issue. Cooperatives and farmers' organizations can aid in aggregation and achieve economies of scale by strengthening backward and forward integration along the supply chain and lowering costs by synchronizing key agricultural operations. from field preparation to harvest. Cooperatives also are a network of individuals and organizations which encompass members, government agencies, business partners, and other stakeholders. They are also present in agriculture, consumer, and credit sector. Each of them can be linked in a way by credit cooperatives supporting agriculture cooperatives, who in turn engage with consumer cooperatives. So I think the COVID-19 pandemic has brought to the fore the importance of the real economy and the perils of valuing short-term gains over long-term viability. It has also accentuated the pitfalls of relying on market-oriented models, which increase inequality and translate into lower levels of social capital and well-being, and suffers from unsustainability, economic, social, and environmental terms. The need is for farmers' organizations which can be trusted, which have a transparent governance and a long-term outlook. The South Asia region needs models that focus on strengthening collective enterprises and small, medium-scale local enterprises. There is need for regulatory framework that safeguards farmers' interests, enabling environment that promotes family farming, and building capacities to generate knowledge, improve socio-economic inclusion and resilience, and promote sustainable family farming. The UN Decade of Family Farming puts family farming and all family-based production model at the focus of interventions to create a world free of hunger and poverty, where natural resources are managed sustainably and where no one is left behind. Let us all commit to making this a reality. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the organizers for inviting the ICAP to be part of this important deliberation. And I would like to wish the two-day consultation the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayaz sir, for your nice and valuable speech. Basically, our inaugural session is divided into three parts. The first part is the keynote speech is finished. Now we have high-level segment speech part. So in the high-level segment part, we have requested the minister or the secretary from its government, and we have received two high-level personalities in our program. So I would like to introduce Dr. S.M. Bokhtiar. Dr. S.M. Bokhtiar is Executive Chairman, Bangladesh Agriculture Research Council, and former Director of SARC Agriculture Center, Dhaka, Bangladesh. He obtained his doctoral degree in soil science from the Graduate School of Agriculture Science, Ime University, Japan in 2006. Later, he continued with a postdoctoral research at Guangxi Academy of Agriculture Science, Guangxi, China. He in his career, he continued immensely for agriculture R&D in South Asia and lead several challenging programs for the regional integration and progress. Dr. Bokhtiar published more than 60 research papers in journals, in addition to authoring several books, policy papers, chapters, and information bulletins. I would like to invite Dr. Bokhtiar for his keynote speech. Excellency, the floor is yours.
Okay, can you hear me, Dr. Rudra? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can hear you clearly.
Thank you, Dr. Rudra, for your nice introduction. Respected guests from different organizations, government focal point from SAARC member state and director SAARC Center, and colleagues from different region. Assalamu alaikum, and I welcome all of you to today's regional consultation meeting on UN Decade of Family Farming, formulating strategies and action to strengthen smallholder family farmers in South Asia. Dear colleague, prior to my today's position, right now I am working at a Bangladesh Agriculture Council, which is the national apex body of national research system in Bangladesh. I led the SAARC Center almost 5 years, and I have some loving or some sentimental attachment with this center. And during my last 5 years in SAARC Center, I made a significant transformation to make this center more visible by our activities in South Asia. And the colleague will be happy to know that right now Bangladesh has a very tremendous success in agriculture sector, especially last decade. And it was very internationally appreciated by the development partner. Right now, Bangladesh is self-sufficient in rice. We are self-sufficient in meat, self-sufficient in egg. And Bangladesh is now promoted recently in rice production as a third position across the globe. Even in fish growth production, Bangladesh right now in the second position. And since our independence, somebody says Bangladesh like a bottomless basket. The Henry Kissinger, he made a comments soon after independence. But right now, Bangladesh is a basket of wonder. And we're happy to know that 24th October last month, the Mark Talley is a very famous journalist who compared the development of Bangladesh agriculture as phoenix from the ashes. Due to the technological transformation and the government policies are helping Bangladesh for today's success in agriculture. And SAARC Centers has a very significant role in South Asia to promote agriculture, research and development in South Asia. And SAARC Center, since 2017, we started the SAARC PhD program. Right now, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, and Nepal, they are pursuing their PhD. And this year we are going to offer 2 PhD for India. And they are doing their research work. The main objective of SAARC PhD program to develop the capacity of the young scientists of the South Asia. And this center has a very good number of publications. Almost they published 150 books in agriculture sector involving crop, fisheries, and livestock. And we also started two multi-country project. That is one of the milestone of this center. And you'll be happy to know right now involving the SAARC countries, the SAARC Center, they are conducting a project on livelihood enhancement of the small farmer in South Asia through small-scale agro-business and value chain development funded by SAARC Development Fund, which is located in Bhutan. And very soon we are going to start one project entitled Consortium for Scaling Up Climate Smart Agriculture in South Asia, funded by International IFAD for 3 years. The main objective of these two projects just to improve the livelihood of the smallholding farmers. And under this consortium, we also replicated some of the smart agriculture technologies in the South Asia. So both the country, all the country can benefit from this project. And also you'll be happy to know we developed a book through consultation involving the expert from different disciplines. And we published a book on agriculture policy and program framework, priority areas of research and development South Asia. That is one of the very good deed of this center. And this book basically will serve for the program development. A lot of activities we are doing under the umbrella of SAARC as a center. And this year, the center is going to arrange this consultation meeting on family farming that is declared by United Nations. And this program is more important, especially for the South Asian region. Though we have a impressive economic growth in South Asia over the last decade, but still South Asia remains a home of 40% of world poor and 35% of all undernourished. And with less than 5% of earth land area, we need to feed almost 1/4 of all populations. Hence, in respect of food, water, energy nexus, lot of challenges are facing by South Asia, especially food security, one of the major challenges of the South Asian people due to the escalating growth of population, declining per capita land, deterioration of soil water, withdrawal groundwater continuously declining. In addition to climate sensitivity, one of the major threats for South Asian people to sustain our agriculture. And especially in South Asia, more than 90% of total 608 million farms in the world are family farms, and more pronounced in the South Asian countries. United Nations Declaration for Family Farming proclaimed by UN is our opportunity to realize the family farmers and appreciate and promote them for their further contribution to achieve targets of SDGs goal. Actually, you know, the family farming, how important in the South Asia, because lot of multi-benefit we have if we engage our family farming in rational ways. And I believe this program is a milestone to address the need and challenges of family farming through formulating South Asia Regional Action Plan of the UND family farming. And this action plan should include, the action plan should coherent with global action of the UNDFF, align with the target of SDGs at the regional and national level, easy access of input like fertilizer, improved seed, technology and credit, advance our research in the pathway of high-yielding, stress tolerance, market-driven and cost-effective, inclusive, sustainable and efficient value chain development, rural revitalization through promoting agriculture enterprise development to address the COVID-19. And COVID-19 pandemic further highlights the importance of family farming. So I hope this is really very important area. That's why United Nations, they declared this family farming decade. And South Asia, we have a lot of opportunity if we can involve the family farming and we can create a congenial environment, then we can ensure our productivity, we can ensure our food also in the South Asia. So I thanks the Success Center for arranging such important consultation meeting, and I convey my heartfelt regards to all the focal points those are attending today through virtually. And the focal point, you have long experience. So I hope through your discussion, your presentation, your ideas, I hope that today's consultation meeting will be fruitful and effective. And I believe those are attending today's consultation meeting will be able to formulate a truly stakeholder set of policy recommendation, which we can circulate the South Asian leader so that we can work together. And I hope the seminar will be fruitful and your few next hour will be productive and enjoyable. So with this few words, I'd like to conclude my remarks because I am not very much expert in the family farming, but it is my belief that if family farming goes wrong, nothing will have a chance to go right, especially in the agriculture sector. So this is my final comments. So thank you all for your kind presence and give me a chance to share a few words with the delegates. So thank you, Dr. Rudra.
Thank you, Dr. Boktiar, for your really nice presentation, nice speak. I really appreciate your time and your contribution to SARC Agriculture Center, not only center, but the whole countries. Your dynamic leadership in 5 years made SARC Agriculture Center more visible and more transformative. Thank you very much for your nice presentation. Then we are glad that with a very short information, we got the big opportunity to have the Honorable Secretary Sumenda Tera from Sri Lanka, Minister of Agriculture. I really appreciate his time for in its very tight schedule. So let me. Let me introduce Honorable Suminda. Honorable Suminda is the Honorable Secretary, Minister of Agriculture, Government of Sri Lanka. Let me introduce him. He is the Major General Suminda Pereira, WWB, RWP, RSP, USP, NDU, is a distinguished officer of the prestigious Gajaba Regiment of the Sri Lanka Army. Actually, Honorable Pereira is from the Army sector. He was awarded various prestigious awards, particularly Veera Vikrama, Bhusa Baya, One Clap, Rana Vikrama, Rakama, with a 2 clap. Major General Honorable Subinda Pereira was one of the pioneers of the air mobile bridge of the Sri Lanka Army and commanded the first battalion of the Gajaba Regiment. So it is just short introduction of Honorable Pereira. I would like to invite him for his keynote speech. Excellency, for is yours. Excellency.
Dr. Rudra, please stop your screen.
Okay. I think Honorable Subinda is not there in the meeting. So I think we should proceed for the next step. If we will have Excellency Subinda, then we will continue again. So our next
Dr. Rudra,
sir,
he is here.
Oh, okay. Then again, I would like to invite Dr. Honorable Subinda for his valuable speech. Is there any problem, technical problem? Iris, can you help?
Sir Sumedha, can you please unmute?
Yeah, it was mute from yours, and now it's okay, I think.
Oh, good. Great to see you, sir.
Thank you. Secretaries of Agriculture from SAARC countries, Director, SAARC Agriculture Center, representatives from FAO, participants of the consultative program, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, let me thank the organizers for inviting me to address this meeting representing the government of Sri Lanka. As you know, Sri Lanka is an agriculture-dominated country from the history, and nearly 60% of the population is still engaged directly or indirectly in agriculture. Unlike today in ancient Sri Lanka, Sri Lankan rural society, agriculture was their livelihood, and people grow crops for their own consumption, and excess was shared with the rest of the villagers. Therefore, they were mostly concerned about household food security and not carried out agriculture as a financial venture. With time, agriculture has become more and more input intensive, aiming higher production, and now the agriculture is the main source of income of some of the households in the rural sector. Therefore, the government of Sri Lanka is giving more attention to improve the rural agriculture in view of improving the living status of the rural community. With time, in villages, mostly agriculture is carried out as a family business. Hence, all the family members are involved in different field operations during the production process. Therefore, the seasonal income received from agriculture is very important for the upliftment of social and financial status of rural population. Now, in recent past, government of Sri Lanka has taken many initiatives to improve agriculture in view of achieving domestic food security in all crops which can be grown in Sri Lanka. We are self-sufficient in paddy, but import considerable amount of some food items from SAARC countries, mainly to match the domestic food demand. To reduce or to completely hold the dependency on imports, government has identified 16 food crops which are economically important and essential to day-to-day life, and launch an extensive campaign to increase the production and productivity. This program is mainly focused on subsidies to encourage cultivation, whilst establishing guaranteed price scheme to expand the cultivation. Now, during the recent COVID pandemic, Sri Lanka identified the most importance of the agriculture sector of our domestic food security, as well as to support the economy when all other sectors are badly affected, to achieve household security for fruits and vegetables. Ministry of Agriculture has launched a national home garden program aiming families who were confined to home due to COVID-19 preventive action initiated by the government. Now, this was highly adopted by both urban and rural households, and we consider it as a very successful program. By all means, Sri Lanka is now trying to improve the contribution of agriculture sector to the GDP to compensate the loss of revenue from other sectors due to COVID-19 pandemic, and to achieve the sustainable development goals set by United Nations. In this endeavor, the rural households who are dealing with agriculture plays an important role. Many foreign funded projects operating under the Ministry of Agriculture aiming to increase the resilience of agriculture to climate change also mostly work with smallholder family farmers in the dry zone area in Sri Lanka. They empower smallholder family farmers to engage in high productive agriculture, farming, crop-based farmer clusters to facilitate input supplies to secure better markets. Now, similarly, many projects operating with the support of UN agencies like FO, WFO also has identified the best way to increase the production and productivity of rural agriculture is strengthening the capacity of smallholder farmers. With these initiatives, I'm happy to say that in Sri Lanka, in line with United Nations Decade Family Farming 2019 to 2028, which seeks to place family farming at the center of national public policies and investments. As a SAARC nation, I believe Sri Lanka is marching along in a vigorous path, empowering smallholder households who are engaged in agriculture to achieve food security and to increase the contribution of agriculture to GDP while encouraging commercial agriculture, also looking for export markets. So I congratulate SAARC Center, Asian Farmers Association, FAO Regional Office for Asia and Pacific, and the International Cooperative Alliance Asia and Pacific for organizing this virtual regional consultative meeting in formulated strategies and action plan to strengthen smallholder families, farmers in South Asia, which is a timely need. I believe the consultative meeting will be able to identify workable strategies and actions which can be put into practice in SAARC region to strengthen the smallholder family farmers who are very important in developing the agriculture sector in the region. So thank you all, and I thank the organization and organizers and everybody for having me and giving me an opportunity to speak a few words in this important forum. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Sumedha, Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture from Sri Lanka. We would like to thank you so much for your time, despite your tight schedule, giving us your valuable time and your inspiring message for, I think we are here 81 people that will have multiplied effect. The whole smallholder farmers, family farmers through our representatives. So thank you very much. Now, I think we should proceed the next session. It is not exactly the session, but we are going to a little bit aware about the program, what it is. This is the session of objectives and flow of the program, how it will go. Of course, our program is the decade of family farming, and we are going to develop, formulate strategies of action plan to strengthen smaller family farmers in South Asia. I already mentioned about the organizers, SAARC Agriculture Center, Asia Pharmacy Association, and International Cooperative Alliance. And also we have strong support from FAO Regional Office for Asia and Pacific Island. The main objective of this regional consultation program is to formulate a regional action plan of the UN Decade of Family Farming, UNDFF, in the South Asia region to strengthen family farmers and improve their well-being in the next 10 years in South Asia. The basic objectives are analyze the global action plan of UNDFF with respect to South Asia regional and national context. Stock of current situation of family farming in South Asia, key challenges, and constraints, policy issues, and ongoing initiatives. And the third one is formulate a South Asia regional strategy and action plan of the UNDFF with the global action plan. We are going to develop South Asia Region Action Plan. What is the process? These are, as mentioned by the provision of the Global Action Plan, is there are 7 pillars. One is related to enabling policy environment. Second is youth and generational sustainability. Third is gender equity and women, rural women, strengthening family farmers organization. Fifth is socio-economic aspects, resilient, and then well-being of the family farmers. And then the sixth action plan is sustainability for climate resilient food systems, and the seventh is multidimensionality, social innovations and development. So our major target is to customize global action plan into South Asia regional action plan. And how we are going to do, what is the flow of the program today is, of course, we had the keynote speech and the high level presentation that help to understand, to overview of the UNDFF and conceptualize it. The second step, we have national focal point experts from 8 countries. And we will have presentation discussion about national level for situation, concerning challenges, opportunities, national action plan, what would be, that type of presentation will be there. And then farmers organization, we have farmer organizations, they will give the presentation, how they have experience, how they learn, and what would be the perspectives and policy measures will suggest us. And from the other side, we have already assigned 7 pillar experts in the region from different disciplines. So from the thematic leader, it means pillar leaders will give their presentation in each pillar, including the national and regional situation of this pillar, related to this pillar, and what would be the action plan to capture, address the that particular pillar. And then the next step would be breakout group. We will have the provision of a breakout group into 7 groups. That is from the FAO, National Focal Point Experts. We have FO's, Farmers Organization, AFA, SAC, FAO, IFAD. Whoever we hear are presented, will have the group discussions. And we have already developed the guiding questions so that we will discuss with that. And we will make a draft of UNDFF Regional Action Plan with a complete review process. Once we will develop the draft, then we will share it with for the review process with the experts, so that we will do that. And then finally, we will develop the next regional action plan of the UNDFF. And that is the major idea or the goal to strengthen family farmers, their well-being and the prosperity. Let me present about the expected outputs. We have 5 expected outputs. At the end of the program, we will develop and discuss and finalize the joint communique, what we have discussed, and what would be the major the idea, and then the communication to the members country. And the second will be engage national focal point experts and pillar leaders in the finalization of the regional plan. It is not the end. Once we will discuss today, and then that will be continuously discussed and back and forth of the document, and then finalize the UNDFF regional action plan. And third is prepare a regional action plan of the UNDFF in South Asia at the regional levels, and of course we will develop and we will publish. And the fourth one is guided, facilitate to form the national action plan, because the final step would be to develop a national action plan, and some of the countries have already developed the national action plan. We will try to facilitate and guide from the different organizers from that type of program. And then the final one is contributed to strengthen the family farmers on the well-being and shared prosperity of the family farmers. Thank you for your thank you very much for your participation, and hope your contribution, significant contribution in the whole day program. I would like to request you to take a photo. Can you pitch your video on so that all the people will be appear there in the screen? May I request you all to see in the screen so that we will take a picture and then we will have a short break. In the meantime, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to you all, particularly the personalities who had presented the keynote speech. Excellency Nigel, Chief Guest Abdul Rauf, Sridhar Sir, and then Ayers, Mr. Pernia, Dr. Boktiar, and Sumenda, the Honorable Secretary from Sri Lanka, and all the participants who participated here. I would like to request you to even all the participants to actively participate in the discussion program in the afternoon session. So I would like to request you all to take a picture. Chris, you want to say something?
Yes, the rest who are still not on video, can we request everyone to please turn on your video? So in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, smile. And then one more for the other panels. 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, thank you everyone.
So the floor is yours, Iris. So you should continue. I think the session is the video.
Yes, in few seconds, we will be showing a video that was produced by the Food and Agriculture Organization on the UN Decade of Family Farming.
Today, world food security and environmental sustainability are at risk due to new threats and crisis. The stability and future of the food systems worldwide depend on the family farmers that every day provide about 80% of the food that feeds our planet. The United Nations Decade of Family Farming offers a framework for countries to promote policies and investments to put family farming at the center of rural transformations towards sustainable food systems. The region holds around 60% of the world's population and is home to the majority of family farmers, including small-scale farmers, fishers, and livestock producers. Family farmers ensure food security and nutrition in the region, maintain natural resources, and contribute to the wealth of rural communities. They are major investors in the agricultural sector and contribute significantly to the growth of the rural economies. They are custodians of biodiversity for food and agriculture, linking identity and social values and local knowledge with innovations. Family farmers are also the engine of the economic, environmental, social, and cultural sustainability of agriculture in the Asia and Pacific region, but they often suffer from food insecurity and malnutrition. due to their vulnerability to shocks and crises, as well as to unequal access resources and development opportunities. Many small-scale farmers, fishers, Indigenous peoples and pastoralists are displaced due to the lack of legal recognition of their customary tenure rights. Rural women have limited access to productive resources, with reduced capacity to generate marketable surpluses, and receive reduced wage income from their work on the farm. Up to 85% of the work is performed by women, but they generate barely 20% of the family income. These unfair conditions and the lack of services in rural areas cause the migration of young farmers and men, threatening the generational renewal of farms and villages. To revert these trends, an in-depth process of change is required, improving policies and investments to exploit the full potential of family farming in different countries of the AP region.
The UN Decade of Family Farming offers a framework to inspire new policies, services, and investment. This will help the advice in family farming as a way to ensure food security and sustainable food systems, building on national efforts as well as the resilience and the capacities of family farmers themselves. The Decade's Global Action Plan provides guidance to unleash the potential of family farmers. The Asia-Pacific region is at the forefront of this effort. National plans have already been approved or are being developed in several countries. Other countries are starting the process. In addition to the commitment of the government, and we have to acknowledge the paramount contributions that the farmers' organizations are making to the decade, and their role in the response to the pandemic, safeguarding their members and delivering alternative services.
Our food system is basically broken, and that's why we need to fix it. So we are to build back better. We think that the food systems that we have right now should be sustainable, just, resilient, and inclusive. So what do we mean by this? So because farmers produce food and the farmers need their natural resources like land, water, forest, and seeds. So these resources must be accessible. They must have access and control over these resources. Also, to be resilient, we need to promote agroecological, climate resilient technologies and innovations. Also, we need to increase the market power of the farmers by having stronger governance in the value chains. And lastly, because we know that women farmers and the youth are marginalized and the youth are not attracted to farming, so we need to empower our women members and our youth members so that they can have greater access, increased access, equal rights to all opportunities. Actually, when COVID came, there was a greater, again, a realization from all sectors of society that we need healthy and nutritious food. Family farmers can produce this food and can bring this food to the market. So for UNDFF, our call is for governments and for development partners to make policies and implement programs that will recognize and that will promote the role of family farmers.
Agria is an inclusive for-purpose agro-social enterprise in the Philippines that aims to eradicate poverty in the farming and fishing communities in the country. So far for the last 6 years, it's been in the core of our work that the farmers are the change makers in the formula of solving the problems in food systems. And focusing on family farming is actually one of our major goals to work with. So far, we have 4 major areas that we're working with family farms. One is focusing on the women and the farms, because we believe that the more we empower the mothers, the women in the farming community, it's an investment to the entire family, because they're the ones budgeting for their home and cooking nutritious food for their children. Second one, we have a farm school. So far, more than 50% of our farm school are women, and most of them, they own family farms that would have an hectareage from 1 to 2 hectares, smallholder farming. And we've been working with them in diversifying their sources of income from coconut to turmeric and ginger to poultry and now livestock inclusion, so that they have different sources of income. And the most magnificent so far that we're doing right now is the Move Food initiative during this pandemic. We've been working with almost 16,000 farmers, and most of these farmers are smallholder farmers, meaning they are family farms. And we also have an agri-rescue kitchen that also give justice to save the food waste in the food supply chain.
The government of the Philippines undertook important concrete actions promoting family farming. We are likewise empowering farmers' cooperatives and associations and young agripreneurs by providing much-needed financial support. We are engaging state universities and colleges, government agencies, and business development services to mentor the beneficiaries of programs such as the Capital Access for Young Agripreneurs, KAYA, and Agri-Negosyo Program, ANYO. The country has recently legislated the Sagip-Saka Act that establishes the Farmers and Fisherfolk Enterprise Development Program. Prior to this, as recognition of the significant contributions of family farmers in achieving economic and sustainable development, the Philippines established the Magna Carta of Small Farmers. Lastly, to address the vulnerabilities of our current food systems due to COVID-19 pandemic, the Philippine Department of Agriculture has crafted a new food security framework translated into the Plant program to help the agri and fishery sector to survive, reboot, and grow. Maraming salamat po.
The action plan has been implemented since the beginning of this year. This program aims to increase food availability, accessibility, and utilization, as well as to improve family farmer income. The target of this program are to reduce the food vulnerability as reflected in the Food Security and Vulnerability Atlas from 18% in 2018 to 10% in 2024, and also to reduce the poverty rate from 9.8% to 6.5% in 2024. The action plan was developed as the result from the dynamic dialogue between the government, researcher, and NGO for various stakeholders to formulate the program in line with strengthening the role of family farming. It's more important during the COVID-19 pandemic, in which this program is not only to provide healthy local food, reduce food expenditure, and increase household income, but also could create job opportunity for the family.
Two-thirds of the population in Nepal are engaged in agriculture, and among them, most of the population, most of the farmers, they are the small scale and medium scale farmers. Thus, our all agricultural program focus is towards the upliftment of this small and medium scale family farming. So we have launched several awareness programs, several campaigns to raise the issues of this family farming and the technologies, the awareness campaigns and other activities to uplift the farmers, to raise their issues at national level. This national plan, we are mainly focusing towards the commercialization, small scale commercialization of our indigenous commodities, our fruits, our vegetables, and also small scale poultry and other commodities. And we are more focused towards the youths. Our main focus is to raise the awareness, to flow the information, to give them the access to finance, access to market, access to premium price, and also to make them agri-business persons, agri-entrepreneurs. The livelihood and economic status of the farmers will be enhanced, and they will gain the sustainable income for their livelihood, and as a whole the nation will be enriched with their economic upliftment. We are working together with national level and international level organizations in this issue of family farming to promote and to enhance these issues at the subnational level and for the benefit of farmers, small scale farmers. Most important thing is to make our agriculture sustainable and to make our farmers sustainable and resilient. In this regard, the COVID-19, the message is very clear that we have to focus on sustainable agriculture, and family farming is more sustainable in this regard.
Many tend to forget how fundamentally important family farming is for our food system. Indeed, if we want to achieve a global food system that produces enough nutritious food at affordable prices within planetary boundaries, there is no way we can do that without supporting and underpinning family farming. Unfortunately, our global food system is in a crisis. 690 million people don't get enough food every day. 2 billion people don't get enough nutritious food. And on top of that comes the climate crisis and now also COVID-19. Family farming is often more sustainable when it comes to, for example, production per unit. It's higher. When it comes to safeguarding biodiversity, it's better. And we will not be able to build back better if we do not put a lot of emphasis on developing family farming. In the Asia-Pacific region, for example, 80% of food production stems from family farms. And we can underpin and support better by partnering with governments to develop national action plans, national policies generally, and investment schemes. And that's what we really encourage all governments to do.
Moving forward, a world free from hunger and inequalities means creating a new normal based on people-centered development, valuing family farmers as agents of change, and ensuring generations renewal and gender equality in the rural areas. The years to come will require new efforts and the commitment of the government, farmers' organizations, and the international community to push the UNDFF agenda forward in the Asia-Pacific region, delivering policies, services, and investments that will benefit family farmers. Let us put family farming at the center of the national policy and the Asia-Pacific regional agenda to lead the transformation towards a new and more inclusive normal for this decade and beyond. This is essential to achieve SDG 2 and indeed most of SDGs, and to ensure the better future for the region and the world.
Family farmers are the agents of change for a zero hunger and a sustainable world. By supporting family farming, we ensure our future. Let us join forces and do it.
So that ends the opening program. So we will be taking a 1-hour lunch break, and then we will resume at 1:30 p.m. Please be back at 1:30 p.m. Bangladesh time, and we will start with the technical sessions.